Hi, I'm Alex Del Valle and I'm the owner of Cinnabox. Today we'll be making an enormous cinnamon roll. This is my bakery in North Glen, Colorado. There's the sign I cheaped out on. So start by mixing your dough. Any sweet dough recipe will do the trick, or cinnamon dough recipe. There's plenty online. We do larger batches. We do about a pan, which makes about a dozen cinnamon rolls, and we do about 4 of those at a time. We do have a 30-quart mixer. After each one's portioned, put it in a pan. If you were doing this at home, you'd probably do about half of one of those pans, which would make 6 large cinnamon rolls. After the dough has proofed for about 30 minutes and then punched down and then rested for another 15 minutes, flip it over for the to roll it out. Dust it with a light layer of flour. You want to make sure it doesn't stick to the table. And you got to show your dough some love. If you don't believe it and don't believe it'll turn out to make a good cinnamon roll, it won't. Kind of like children. Gotta put in the effort and the love and they'll turn out great. And when you roll, you want to lift up at the end. You want to try to make sure it's as level as possible. I'm a little OCD. I like my cinnamon rolls to be really even and as circular as possible. After you're nice and level, I like to square it off with my hands a little bit. Try to make sure we have a nice even square. Now melt your butter. I like to melt it to about the consistency of like mayonnaise, and then I like to spread it with a bowl scrape. Usually pick these up at any bakery supply store for less than $1. And we also like to use Kerrygold butter. Unfortunately, I'm not paid by them, but it's European butter, has a higher fat content, and I feel like it makes everything more delicious, or at least that's what happened when I started using it, so I just had to start using it, even though it's way more expensive. Add your cinnamon sugar. We blend our own in-house. It's a mix of molasses and 3 types of cinnamon. It's a proprietary ratio, but I can let you know we use Indonesian, Saigon, and Ceylon cinnamon. And we use molasses and sugar because that is what makes brown sugar. We'd rather make that in-house. A lot of brown sugar comes in really clumpy. And then also when you add your molasses, you get to control the strength of the molasses. Usually it's like 5 to 10% molasses compared to sugar if you want to do that at home. You want to make your layers as even as possible. You can use a pizza roller. We were cutting them 3 inches per piece. I have this fancy little thing I got off Amazon for I think $7. And one thing too, you want to make sure you push down hard enough to cut all the way through. I didn't, unfortunately. And as you'll see, I'll fight the dough as we go through this video. And we are making this giant cinnamon roll. I kind of had the idea. It's our 3rd anniversary at the bakery, so we figured we might as well do it right and make a cinnamon roll cake. Instead of a cake, for Cinnabox, it would be our thing to do. We got fighting me right there. And yeah, it got really hard. It started smashing on itself just because the weight of the roll itself was pretty intense. I want to say that thing probably weighs about 6-7 pounds. You want to make sure you crimped it. I would have crimped it actually on each one of these wraps probably 4 times. So, at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Just because the layers, as you'll see in the proofer and in the oven, they kind of fell down. But still turned out amazing. But yeah, just, always trying to improve, make things better every time we do it. And yep, just let it sit in the proofer a little less than an hour, 40 minutes to an hour, pretty much till it comes to about doubles. In that downtime, you can always, do something. It was our birthday, so figured I'd bring out some fire. People seem to enjoy that. Always helps with business too. Alright, so it goes into the oven. Those are our quiches, mini rolls, and medium or large size regular rolls. It took a lot longer. Normally our rolls cook for about 8 minutes. That took about 18 minutes. We cooked one yesterday for 13 minutes, and it looked really nice and brown, but it was completely raw in the center, so this one cooked a little more. The outsides were a little crispy. They weren't burnt, even though they look really toasty. It was actually perfect all the way through. It was quite amazing. The outside layer was the only outside layer. All the rest was inside layer, because this thing is really tall. And yeah, you gotta hit it when it's nice and hot. You want it to melt on the inside. We use a cheese frosting that is in an Italian buttercream base. Italian buttercream is made by whipping up egg whites and pouring molten sugar, and then whipping in room temperature butter. It's a lot lighter than the American buttercream. You gotta lather it on fat. I feel like icing is as good as the roll. Some people would say better, some would say different, but I feel like it's the perfect balance. And yeah, time to cut that sucker open. As you can see, it has a high level of gooiness, which I personally love. Yeah, we realized the plate that we had ready wasn't quite large enough, so I had to help grab another one. And there it is. It was so amazing, so ooey gooey. I think we're gonna add it to our menu after doing it this one time. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video I put together for you guys. Please leave some comments. Let me know what you think. Leave me a like button if you like the video. Yeah, and please give us a subscription if you want to see more videos about cinnamon rolls and small business. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.